Live from the Slackers Sports Bar Studios. This is In the Building with Mike Taylor and Rudy J.
See. Looky here, we're back. It is another one of these In the Buildings, Holmes. What's this? Episode number 245.
Yep.
Under our watch. How about that, man? Pushing 250 already. How about that?
I know.
Still getting better, too, as great as we are.
Awesome in the world of podcasting, consistency is the thing that people run into the most trouble with. And I think we've been pretty consistent.
Yeah, thank God. Well, we've got support, you know.
Like well, consistent as far as daily, not time-wise, but daily.
Right. Well, no, there's lots of days where I wake up not feeling like doing this just because, I don't want to. I want to sleep, or I don't know. I realize this is a great job, but there's times you're like, tired today. Then you realize that you have faithful, loyal supporters that rely on us. We are we are subservient to the people. We answer to the people, and we answer to our sponsors, and thus, good morning. If you're watching our show live, this is Wednesday morning. On this particular day we do this, is People I Want to Punch Wednesday. So we want to hear from you. Who do you want to punch today, and why? If you could punch somebody, because no doubt by the third work day of the work week, you're ready to punch somebody. Who is it personally you could punch in the face and get away with it if you could and not go to jail? Some of y'all might not care about going to jail. You just getting to punch somebody's worth it. So who would that be for you and why? You can jump into the super chat. You can give us a tip if you want to. Brian's already given us $10. Happy Wednesday, boys. Thank you to Brian. What's up, man? Thank you for that.
That's my $10
donation.
What's up, Brian? That's my Texas cheer buddy. He comes by number one quite often.
Yeah.
So
he's an Arsenal soccer man. He's a member of that.
Every time I see him,
chapter.
He has on. Mm-hmm. Yeah, every time I see him, he has on the Arsenal jersey. They suck though, don't they?
They're like the Cowboys, honestly.
Oh, okay.
They win a lot of games and make no noise whatsoever. They're very sexy. The Manchester United's turned into the Cowboys too over there. Got a couple of Cowboys over there, like Man U, Arsenal, Tottenham. These high money London-based teams.
Is Chelsea still good?
They're all right. Yeah, they're fine. But they had about 5 years where they sucked because they had ownership issues because they forced out the Russian oligarch who was the owner. He got swept up in the war with Ukraine and was basically forced out, and that hurt Chelsea for a couple of years. Now they're owned by some Americans, but they're competitive. They're doing what they have to do. So good morning. There's soccer talk for the year. We'll get back to it again in 2026. That's it. Thank you, boys, for jumping in here. Ruben reminds us, don't forget what you're watching Wednesday. I won't.
Oh, shit.
Rudy forgot. We won't. We forget every week. It's a great segment, and we forget it. Normally do it on Fridays. We'll do it today for sure. But we got to get violent first, Rudy. We got to get violent. And we have to say thank you to some people as well today. Let's begin with violence because this is America, and who are we to? I mean, I'm just following the rules here. America's a violent nation. By the rules. I'm simply going. I'm just following how things go, and it's time for People I Want to Punch. You're on In the Building, presented by the Law Office of Orlando Kell, the official family man, the family lawyer. I'm in the building. It is Orlando Kell. I want to punch San Antonio citizen. Make sure I get his name right because he's a junior or something. I want to punch John Garcia Jr. Okay. I'm sure he's a fine lad, but I want to punch him because he caused a ruckus on a flight from Los Angeles to San Antonio. So I saw this in the paper this morning in the Express News. Raul Trey Lopez writes, a San Antonio man said that Spirit Airlines flight attendants kicked him off his flight because he was wearing a hoodie that said, "Fuck Hate World Tour" on it. Except the U in the F word is a V. Have you seen this logo around before?
No.
kids running around with hoodies on that says it says FV as in Victor, FVCK, but it looks very
What?
much like Fuck Hate World Tour.
I don't
And
get it.
Spirit Airlines kicked his ass off the plane. So this guy, in an interview with the Express News, says that the dispute began as he boarded his Monday afternoon return flight to San Antonio from L.A., and he was wearing a hoodie that he purchased at FWUH.com, which is an acronym for Fuck What You Heard. That's a company. The company's
I love
mission,
it.
according to its website, is to, quote, fashionably poke fun at pop culture, current events, and other everyday ordinary BS while proudly boasting a big fat middle finger to your feelings. That's what it says on their website. Help us spread this urban message of love. But airline attendants went over to this dude and asked him to remove the hoodie because it had offensive language on it.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy obviously said no.
At that point, I just turned it inside out because I don't want to ruin the flight for everyone else.
Bingo. Bingo.
Like, I get it. Like, why screw up everybody else's flight? We're already on Spirit, bro. Like, isn't our lives bad enough?
Right. We're already getting a
like,
rattle
why
in the cave.
why make our day even worse, bro? I had to take Spirit. I had to pack all my shit into one bag so I wouldn't get charged $100,000 per bag.
Yep, and it's so bad. When you fly Spirit, you need a chiropractor when you land. It's bad. And this guy simply was being an asshole because he's prideful, probably. Here's my problem with this guy. He's 43 years old, man. I get a 17-year-old being like, I don't want to take my hoodie off. I'm not offensive. This guy's a grown-ass guy. Grown man.
And
according to the article, says the first of two confrontations happened as he began to place his luggage in the overhead bin. That's when a female flight attendant approached him, asked if he was sitting in the correct seat. He told her he was in the right seat, but after several minutes, the same flight attendant approached him again, allegedly telling him to remove the hoodie because it displayed obscene language. He says, it caught me totally by surprise. I'm like, man, are you serious? Yeah, dude, we are serious. It says fuck on your hoodie. I know it's a V, but we know what you're trying to do. Quit acting like no big deal.
But
yeah, like
let me ask you this.
Cowboys on it, dude. It's offensive.
Why didn't the people at the check-in tell him anything?
Good question, because that's my next
Or why
punch.
didn't TSA? Like, he should have gotten stopped. If this is a thing, he should have gotten stopped way before he got onto the plane.
Watch the language, little boy.
And that's his defense. So they make him get off the plane. He walks back into the airport, was at LAX for 12 more hours waiting on a next
That's
flight.
what his bitch ass gets.
Yeah, said he wore the same hoodie and no one said a thing on the flight back to San Antonio. So now he's bitching to the local newspaper. I mean, at some point, though, that's just, okay, I'm not trying to get on here and act like I'm a crazy right-wing, censorship, honker. I fully believe in art, and I fully believe in fashion, and I believe in the right to express yourself. But, man, we're on an airplane here. We're already a little bit weirded out by being on a plane anyway. We see story after story of people acting like assholes on airplanes. Just comply. So many men are eaten up in their feelings because of the pride they have, the machismo that we have. We're so guilty of it. There's a lot of female Karens out there, but men, we get wrapped up on our feelings, and we don't want to do something because someone asked us to. 43 years old. He's probably a dad. Just turn it inside out. Who cares who cares for the greater good of everybody on the plane? So, yeah, now we have to wait for this asshole. He's arguing with the flight attendant. Most people don't know why he's arguing. Then we see officials come on the plane. They have to escort you off. You have to make, why do you have to make yourself, it's just this need for attention. What 43-year-old man buys a sweater that has an F-bomb on it anyway? And then gets on an airplane and asks, what's the big deal? I don't understand. Well, dude, you totally understand.
Yeah.
It's the reason you bought the sweater.
Wear it around your homies. Wear it around the fam. Like, it's a funny ha ha ha. Hopefully he's not a subscriber to this show.
Well,
you
I don't
just
care if
punched
he
him.
is. No. I don't care if he is. I hope he is a subscriber. And if he is, I'm disappointed because you should know better because this is a grown man show. This is a grown man show for
Then
women.
there's that.
So I'm disappointed. I have failed him. If he's a subscriber, Mr. Garcia, I apologize. I have failed you. And I need to coach you better. Men in their
Yeah.
pride, man. Punch him. And then punch Spirit Airlines for being inconsistent, though. You leave it arbitrarily up to one flight attendant to make the decision to say something, but then the next flight no one says a thing and you fly back home. That's in defense of him.
Right.
I don't mind flying. I don't love flying. I don't mind flying. What I hate is the possibility of confrontation by people on airplanes because people act like dumbasses on airplanes. More than ever.
Yeah, I don't want.
It's an epidemic.
Yeah, I don't want them.
Epidemic. Some dumbass, prideful hedonist walks in there with his sweater on with the F-bomb. I know it's a V, not a U, but I don't want to explain to my 9-year-old if he or she sees it and asks me. That's a conversation I don't want to have because you are full of pride. You're in public, dude. Like you said, if you're with your boys at whatever, you're in public. Have some effing respect. We dress like shit as it is as a society. We are the worst dressed. We're the worst dressed modern society on earth.
You talking about San Antonio?
No, the United States.
Oh,
in
I'm
20 years.
In 20 years.
Well, we're pretty shitty dressed here. In 20 years, we're going to have some slapdick millennial wind up being the president. And he's going to wear sweatpants in the Oval Office. You watch. We're heading that direction where the president.
Oh yeah,
sweatpants. We're heading there
for sure.
Who you punching?
Are you familiar with the TGL, the Tomorrow Golf League, the simulated golf league that Tiger and Rory started, and one other cat, Mike McCarley. So,
been meaning to ask you about this, and if you've
it looks cool. It looks cool. Like it's this huge simulated real, like you're playing real golf courses. Huge simulator down somewhere in Florida. In SoFi Center in Florida. Well, Tiger, Rory, and this guy Mike McCarley, they started this league here, and so it started last week. But Tiger's team, there's 6 teams. I'm not going to go all the way into the woods. I'm just going to give you one punch. But there's 6 teams. So it started last week, but Tiger's team didn't play until this week. I got to punch Tiger.
Okay. He's team Florida? Is that his team? Florida or Jupiter?
Yeah, Jupiter. Yeah, he's Jupiter. Okay. He's team Jupiter. There's 6 teams.
Okay. Do they have a nickname? Are they the Tigers? Are they the Lion Roars?
No, I hope not. No, they're just team Jupiter.
Okay.
Well, I love Tiger, but he's such a goofball / douchebag. They all have, how.
But you love him.
I love him, but. You know how like baseball players have their walkout music?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they come to the plate music.
Yeah.
Well, they have this there, and Tiger rolled with.
Let me guess.
Yeah, go ahead.
Somebody white and pop.
Okay.
All right. Who is it?
Old school.
Oh.
Think Rocky.
Oh. Bum 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 bum.
Eye of the Tiger.
Eye of the Tiger.
Bro, I almost threw my television. And he walks out like it's badass with this smoke. and he's playing Eye of the Tiger. I'm like, he's such a goofball. And I'm sure Charlie's up there like,
he's an asshole.
This can't be my pops. And by the way, his team got his ass kicked. In his own league, they got their ass kicked last night. But that's another. Who cares about the league? If y'all want to watch it. It's on ESPN. Tomorrow Golf League. It looks cool. It gets a little boring after a while. I prefer real golf. I'm old school, but I know where they're trying to go with this. Like especially like if you're up north. Like right now, you can't play golf if you live up north.
Mm-hmm.
So if this catches on and they start having these places all around the country, the guys up north will have something to do until the spring. But yeah, walking out to Eye of the Tiger made me want to throw up in my mouth a little bit. But that's just Tiger. He's just a goofball.
Tiger has
I'm
acted
still punching him for that shit.
Tiger Woods has acted like a 60-year-old white man since he was 12 years old. Because that's all he was around. Earl had him at all these high-tone golf clubs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that Tiger ever hung out with another kid until he was in college. He's a massive nerd.
Yeah, he is.
What are you gonna do?
Love him though.
Yeah, love him.
Is it the Jupiter
He's a
Lynx?
big dork.
Jupiter Lynx. Okay,
Is that
whatever.
their name? Over the Lynx. Okay. So are they playing? Is this 18 holes of this?
Yeah, so it's like team
Wow.
play. So like you do 6 holes as a team, 6 holes individual.
Okay.
It's a cool setup.
We're talking about golf, LG, not Tigers off the links.
Yeah, you got the Bay Golf Club, the New York Golf Club, which is Ricky Fowler.
Okay, I'm sure.
The Los Angeles.
Ricky's proud to put that NY on his hat.
Yeah. So, yeah, and then you got the Jupiter's Links Golf Club.
I could see this being entertaining for about half an hour, But I'm not going to sit up here and say it has no future because, again, young people are addicted to games and videoing and gaming.
No, this could catch on, and this could catch on.
Yeah, we're going to have a millennial wearing sweatpants in the White House in 20 years gaming in the Oval Office. That's where we're headed.
Yeah. And Blackbird 76, hard to start something new with all the haters. What's your walkout song, Rudy? I'm not hating. I mean, I'm not crazy about it, but I'm not hating. And again,
he's hating on the walkout song, not the game.
I'm hating on the walkout song. I don't know what my walkout song would be. I don't sit around and think about things like that.
You've never thought about your walk-up song ever?
No.
Wow.
What's yours?
A man who has practiced his signature and has been prepping himself for fame since he was 5 years old. A former lucrative local rapper has
which we didn't do Friday, by the way. We still owe that. What's yours? It's something with Pearl Jam. Friday, I was supposed to talk about the rap because someone put $40 in the kettle.
No.
See, we owe a bunch of people. What's your walkout song? Something Pearl Jam?
Probably, yeah. Yeah, probably The State of Love and Trust. It's a good intro. It's a very good intro. That's not it. We need another Ed drop in there. But there's a song called State of Love and Trust. The intro is really good. It's a good walk-up type song. Like this nice guitar riff to start the song off. We'd play it, but we'd get sued because we don't have the money to pay for the rights to music yet. We're working on that in 2K25.
I'll probably be "You Don't Know" by Jay-Z.
Okay,
yeah, that's my walk-up song. You Don't Know.
There it is. All right, there it is.
When we get
rights to music, when we get rights to music, LG, I demand that become we play those tunes all the time. L Harley 210 live from Arizona. $5 donation. Thank you, man. Punch my mom for buying me a Dak Prescott jersey for Christmas. I literally had just gotten rid of all my Cowgirls merch. Just when you think you're out, they drag you back in.
Hey, man.
Your mama didn't know.
You be nice to your mom. The hell? We don't punch mamas on this show. Moms are off limits. Even Eminem's mom is off limits.
I punched Grandma Becky several times over the years. All right.
Moms are off limits.
Blackbird 76. It's 9 degrees here in Littleton, Colorado this morning. John got the reaction he wanted. Guy's an asshole. Oh, he's talking about the guy on the airplane. Exactly. I don't know what the big deal is. You wear a hoodie has an offensive slogan on it. And then you act like, what's the problem when they ask you about it? It's just that kind of behavior drives me nuts. And to be 43 years old acting like that on an airplane makes me even nuttier. All right, that's people I want to punch, presented by Orlando Kell. God forbid you wind up in the wrong marriage. Maybe you married an idiot like this guy who's 43 and wears the F-bomb on his hoodie on airplanes, and it's time for you to grow up and get somebody more mature. Call Orlando. He will help you on that process. He will get you separated and detached from the idiot so you can move on with your life. If you need a family man lawyer, that's our guy, Orlando Kell, 210-775-4995. Or you can directly email Orlando. It's orlandokilllaw@gmail.com. orlandokilllaw@gmail.com. All right. Rudy back. Welcome back.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. All right. 1 year ago today. And boy, it was all I could do. How many humans knew we were doing this? I
Not
told
many.
Nina. I didn't even
I
tell
knew
like
my
my
wife.
family. Told
Fox
Nina.
News Dave. Fox News Dave, obviously.
He obviously had. Fox News Dave had to know.
My wife.
Okay. That's about it. And LG.
No, my golf buddies knew. My golf group chat, they knew, and my close inner circle knew. But that's it.
Right. My guy that worked over at the car club that provided the Bentley, he didn't even know till he drove the Bentley to the airport, and he didn't even know what for until he got there. He was like, "Oh, damn, Rudy J." Mm-hmm. So we had to make those people all sign a blood oath that they would not announce that Rudy was coming over to work with us on Love You Hard. And we created a show called In the Building. It was a year ago today. LG, you got the video? This is what was shot, and we released it 1 year ago today.
Mr. Johnson will be landing San Antonio in approximately 20 minutes. Your transportation will be standing by plainside when we land.
Yo, what up?
You almost here?
Yeah, I'm about to land right now. Look at that motherfucker.
Let's go. I'm ready.
I'm in the building.
Could you please move the jet so I can get my Bentley out? Thank you. That'd be great. Thank you.
Let's go, man. I can use a number 2. I'm ready to get out of this shit anyway.
I can't afford a number 2.
We'll split one.
All right, cool.
You gotta unlock my door manually or what?
Oh, yeah. There you go. Try it again.
All right.
Okay. Well, doesn't beat the Bentley.
Did not beat the Bentley.
Did not beat the Bentley.
I was
well
nervous to drive that Bentley. I only went like 50 yards. I was nervous.
No.
Yeah.
Then we got back in our regular car off the jet.
Yeah. So there it is. 1 year ago today, we made public that this show was going to be a thing. And then we did it a week out. So what was the reaction when people started finding out on your end? What was the reaction like for you?
Well, I guess, from the people that I really give a shit about, they were happy for me. Like, hey, they were happy for me. They were happy for me. The people that, there was a shock to a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
It was a shock to a lot of people.
Yeah.
But, here we are a year later. Damn, a year goes by fast. Now, former colleagues, Minix was cool. Like, I still talk to Minix like weekly. But some former colleagues were weird. But the thing about it is crazy is like, so when I was leaving Calvin, right, to go to Sports Star, I had to sign an NDA.
Right.
So Calvin didn't even know where I was going. Nobody knew I was going. Nobody knew I was going to ESPN San Antonio at the time. And that was okay. It was okay for me to leave Calvin and them in the dark and iHeart in the dark. Like, hey, no problem. This is what we do. But then when I did it to them, what an asshole. What an asshole. You know what I mean? Like, wait a minute. Y'all made me do the same thing when I left my childhood friend that I've known since I was 6 years old. Y'all told me I had to leave him in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't have that kind of relationship with y'all. But it was okay for me to do that to Calvin, but not to you guys.
So
whatever.
I'm going to go to my grave with at least 50% of the people that know me that will never believe that this was not some 6-month long
It looked like you
strategic
said.
thing.
Well, I didn't know the backstory of. We won't go into it, but I didn't know how it all went down. But I can
Mhm.
see outside looking in how people were like, "Well, that happened because Mike was planning to go get Rudy," and that was
Right.
not the case. It literally
No.
wasn't the case
No.
at all.
No, man. That had nothing to do. Now it was a result of me going solo, and I had every intention of keeping it just Mike Taylor Live was the show we were doing at the time.
Right.
Um, I had every intention of doing that at least for a year, and there was only one human being in this entire town that I would have altered course for, and created a show with, and I mean, there was a risk because I spent years building a solo brand in San Antonio, you know?
And it's still taking some people you getting used to because you do have a solo brand. So I
Yeah,
get it.
right.
I
Yeah,
get
I'm
it. It's got to
happy.
grow on some people.
I never wanted a solo brand. It just kind of went that way because iHeart made me do it that way. But I wouldn't just work with anybody. There's two or three people on Earth, and only one in this whole area that I would have worked with, and that would have been Rudy. Not because I'm better than everybody. It's just because I want if we're going to do something like that, it needs to be really, really good. It needs to be legit. And we're almost a year
Well,
later,
I'll
and
say
it's
this
kicking ass.
over the 20 years of us being on radio, have we this wasn't planned. Let me say that. Let me
No, it
stress
was
that. I
not.
swear on my
No, it
kids.
was not.
But over the 20 years, have we talked on the phone? Mike's venting to me, or I'm venting to him. He's frustrated at once for 6 months, then I'm frustrated for 6 months. Have we talked on the phone about, man, it'd be cool? Absolutely. We've
Mhm.
had those conversations. Like there was times Mike was disgruntled, he'd call me. I'd be disgruntled, I'd call him. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And we've had those conversations,
Yep.
but even this still wasn't planned. So just saying, it wasn't.
It was not. It just very fortunate is what it was. It was just fortunate timing, and stars aligned the way they need to align, or else this wouldn't have happened. Um, and I'm glad it
I
did,
remember
man.
when I was this close to leave. I already knew that I was going to leave Sports Grind, and I kind of had. I didn't tell you, but I told you when you had the suite. You invited me to your suite at the FC game. And
Okay.
me and you had like a 30-minute, remember that conversation? We had like a 30-minute conversation, and you were kind of looking
Yeah.
at me like, what you trying to say?
Yeah.
And I was just kind of like, at that point, kind of fed up and ready
Mhm.
to do something else. But I already knew, like I already had an offer on the table. So I kind of tried to tell you without telling you because I couldn't tell you
Understood.
because of the
Yeah.
NDA.
And I went home that night thinking something was up, but I wasn't going to
Oh,
push
you
you. I
did?
wasn't gonna,
No,
yeah, a little
but
bit,
that
but I
was, yeah.
wasn't going to push you on that because
Yeah.
but when I found out what it was, I was as happy as anybody because you deserve that. Absolutely
Right.
deserve that shot to be legit on the payroll with medical and all the
No
other
shit. I missed
insurance.
that. I missed that
Being
shit.
under a company's wing at that time. But lo and behold, life changes, things ebb and flow, and
Here
whilst
we
it
are.
might have been, was there same for me? So was there something good about having that corporate lord protecting you with
Mm-hmm.
insurance and a paycheck every 2 weeks? Sure, but there were a lot of negatives about that too. And I did not want to be 70 years old and look back and think, damn, what would have happened had I had the nuts to go out on my own, even if it fails. And the reason we're playing that today is because it was 1 year ago that we announced we were going to work together. And then a week went by, and our
And we
first show
started.
was on January 22nd. 22, which is a great number. Emmitt Smith wore number 22. That's how many carries Emmitt had in the Super Bowl victory over the Bills in 92. He had 22 carries in the game. You know how many pass completions Troy Aikman had that night? 22. Troy had 22 completions. Emmitt Smith wore 22. And so our first show starts. Of course, I made it an early '90s Cowboys reference. We started off on January 22 last year. So next week is our 1-year anniversary show on the 22nd, and we're going
Next
to
Wednesday.
celebrate it. We're going to celebrate it on next Friday, though, on the 24th, because it's Friday. It's a better time to get out at 5 o'clock. Rudy and I are going to gather, hopefully with as many of you that can come out as possible, at 5 o'clock at the Slackers location on Thousand Oaks and 281, where we want to just say thank you. That's it. Thanks to the people for supporting our show, our sponsors, our subscribers, our partners, anybody that watches us, anybody who's had anything to do with this show in any capacity, whether you still are or not. We would just want to say thanks, because you just can't start a podcast and think you're going to make, all this crazy money right off the top, and it's
Like
just going to, you're set up forever.
10% of podcasts make money, and there's a
And then-
gazillion of them.
Right. There may be 10% that make money, and 99% of those 10% don't make enough, to sustain,
Well, shit,
They're making
yeah.
$50 a week because their neighbor feels bad for them and donates $50, and they promote his company or whatever. So we've done our damnedest to get this thing afoot here this first year, and I want this thing to go to the next level here in year 2. That's where I've got big grandiose plans here, man. Need to get this thing to where it needs to get to justify this business. I'm happy I did it. I don't regret it, but we're still building. We're still shy of 5,000 subscribers. We shot to
Thank God.
4,000 real quick. You say, thank God. Because Rudy has to
Got
grow
the
it.
George Jefferson.
He's got to go George Jefferson for like a month.
Whoa, nobody said a month.
Well, you got to grow it out. You got to grow it out.
I got to grow it. Once we get close, I'll start growing it out.
All right. Where are we at right now, LG? It's a good question.
43.
4,300. 700 subscribers. How do we
It's
attain
not a
that?
lot. It's not a lot.
We got to 4,000 like that, and then it's been a 6-month grind to get this next couple 300. 700
We need to
more.
go viral.
That sounds super easy.
We need to go viral.
Somehow, some way. You'd think that just our good looks and badass sports talk would make us go viral, but no. We need something to happen. I need lightning to strike. But I'm happy with where we are a year later, man. I really am. I'm super excited. I was nervous because, you're a family man and you make that decision to come on over. And I wanted to make sure that you were absolutely at peace with it. And thank God you were. And what are your we'll get into this next week on the actual anniversary.
Yeah, let's do
show,
this
like
next
our
week. We'll
thoughts
do the
on how
anniversary
things
show.
have
Yeah.
gone. We'll do that then. But it was 1 year ago today, and I appreciate everybody that's been a part of our show. We'll do more on this next week. So thank you to Slackers again. Come out and hang out with us on the 24th, Friday the 24th, at the Thousand Oaks and 281 location at 5 o'clock. We'll celebrate with the people and just say thank you for supporting our thing here for the last almost year at Slackers. 5 locations: Med Center on Fredericksburg Road, the North Star Mall location back behind the mall on Rector, the near downtown area, St. Mary's, the one on Nacogdoches, and then the one we're going to be at Thousand Oaks and 281 near San Pedro on the 24th. It is Slackers. All right, big Cowboys news today.
What happened?
Well, big Cowboy, just some insight on how things have gone on. We don't have a coach or nothing yet. So you're familiar with Jane Slater, longtime reporter for NFL Network.
I've met James. I've met her a couple times.
Yeah, she's got a pretty good pulse on the happenings up there at the Star. So Jane Slater said last night that Jerry wanted Mike back.
Okay.
And what we've heard was they couldn't agree on the length of the contract. Mike thought he'd probably get another 4 or 5 year deal. According to Jane, Jerry wanted Mike to sign a short-term extension.
Okay.
And hire Jason Whitten to the staff and make him the coach in waiting. And Mike's like, nah, I'm not doing that. Bye. Deuces. That's what she says how it went down. Probably a 2-year deal, hire Whitten, and then here in 2 or 3 years, you hand the keys off to my boy Jason Whitten.
Well, okay, let me look at this from a player's vantage point.
Okay.
I'm the star quarterback. You decide to draft a quarterback.
Yep.
And you know what the coaches staff expects me to do? Be a professional, coach him up, do your job, come out there and give it your all. But why can't the same thing happen to coach? We draft guys to replace guys all the time. Why can't I hire somebody to replace you when it seems like your time is up? Go out there and do your job. I'm not saying Mike has to agree with, but that's for once I'm on Jerry's side in this. Like, hey, I don't know what's gonna happen. Y'all sucked before while Dak was still healthy.
Yeah.
So we always, look, Aaron Rodgers got drafted to replace Brett Favre. Jordan Love got drafted to replace Aaron Rodgers. Now, when Tom Brady did it, Tom got his ass traded. But this happens all the time. This happens all the time to players.
The thing is, it's not like Mike's 71 years old. This isn't like a Spurs situation where the guy's 75 and the next guy's coaching on the job while the old man recovers or whatever it is. Mike wants to coach 5, 6, 7 more years in the NFL. He's an NFL lifer. I'm going to be here 5 years, so why would you bring in Jason Whitten? Because I'm going to be here 5 more years.
What
is
is
waste of Jason's time? And I don't know Jason, and he's a high school coach. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
I know he's the best tight end in Cowboys history, but aren't you grooming him?
Yeah. So I don't blame Mike at all for calling bullshit on this. He's only 61. It ain't like he's dying next week. Knock on wood. He don't want to groom Jason Whitten. He don't know Jason Whitten.
Right.
Had they gone to Mike and said, "Hey, we think that we were big fans of the, we're big fans of the quarterback's coach or whatever. We think he could replace you in the future. Fine. Mike might be okay with that. Maybe you leaving to go to work. Bye, love you." It's just not how things are done, Rudy. And look, that always isn't the right way, by the way. But there's a reason why it's not done that way in the NFL. Because it's the wrong way to do it. But no one's surprised. He hired Jason Garrett as the offensive coordinator before he hired Yuck Wade Phillips as the coach.
That was the coach in waiting, clearly.
Yeah. And when Mike McCarthy got hired, he was told, "Hey, you're hired, but Kellen Moore's going to call plays for you next season." And Mike said, "Okay." And I bet you Jerry was taken aback. He thought this was going to be a no-brainer. Hey, here's 2 years. We're going to let Whitten come in here and groom him. Let Whitten be your assistant head coach or whatever. Coach tight ends and be the assistant head coach. And Mike's like, "No, I'm going to pursue other opportunities."
Mike might end up with no job.
Could be, but I bet you Mike would rather that be the scenario than spend one more damn day working for these Joneses. So that's according to her, that's how that shook down. What I need to know is, how implicit is Jerry in this Jason Whitten thing, if that's true? So whoever the next head coach is, do you have to take the job knowing that Whitten's the future? Like Kellen Moore is said to be a player for this job, but Kellen Moore's not even 35 years old yet. He ain't going to take a job and immediately groom his replacement. So if you're hell-bent on Whitten, Kellen Moore ain't going to be the next guy, right?
No, and this is why Troy Aikman, there's only one Troy if I'm talking about Troy. This is why Troy feels like this may not be a coveted job, because you have a GM/owner already telling you who has to be on your staff.
Right.
It takes a different type of mentality to go in with that type of open mind, knowing like, damn, he's already telling me who has to be on my staff.
Right.
I think this is the type of stuff that Troy's talking about.
Absolutely. It's not a coveted job. Ben Johnson would be a nut to take this job. Nobody. So if you want Jason Whitten, just go get Pete Carroll then. Let Pete come in and spend 2 years or 3 and then turn it over to Jason Whitten.
I can see Pete grooming Whitten.
Because he's 72.
Right.
Mike is 61. You know, crazy, man. Pretty
What
nuts.
about you think Kingsbury could handle Jerry Jones?
Absolutely. See, Kellen Moore could too. Like,
Kellen
I'm
Moore could too, because Kellen knows. Kellen already knows him.
right, but Kellen's not going to come in here and immediately turn it over to Jason Witten in 2 years. So if this Witten thing is true, then that expels Kellen Moore, unless Witten was only in the mix provided Mike McCarthy stayed coach. But now that Mike McCarthy's gone, maybe Jerry will turn away from Witten and he'll start calling the Kellen Moores of the world. God knows what's next. My hunch is Kellen Moore. And Kellen Moore probably agreed to hire Whitten, maybe. Who knows? And work with him and see how it goes. And of course, we all assume that Kellen Moore would jump to Jerry's beat. Whatever Jerry wanted, yes, sir.
Yeah, but
Kellen
they
would
already.
or would he?
But we
Because
already
Kellen Moore's been away now.
We already know Kellen Moore doesn't work here.
And we know
He throws
Kellen Moore
throws the ball 75 times a game. It doesn't work.
Well, not this year with Saquon Barkley. Kellen Moore's done a good job with Saquon Barkley. Kellen Moore's made Saquon the MVP of the league. You could okay.
You could argue.
He didn't make Saquon made Saquon the MVP of the league, but Kellen Moore gives him the rock. Kellen Moore has now gone to L.A. and worked for another team, then went to Philadelphia and has worked with them. Kellen Moore has seen how it is outside of the Metro Sex, outside of the Cowboys kingdom. Kellen Moore may not want the job. We just assume, oh, yeah, Kellen Moore, he would jump any hoop Jerry told him to. Would he? Kellen Moore's boss the last 2 years has been Nick Sirianni, a hard-ass head coach, and the great Howie Roseman, probably the best general manager in all the NFL in Philadelphia. Kellen Moore might not want the job either, getting back to what Troy was saying. They may have to settle for Mike Zimmer. Where's Dave Campo at? He might take the gig.
Mike Zimmer wasn't a bad coach in Cincinnati, actually.
Mike's 73 or whatever he is.
Yeah, I'm not upset. But that little young tenderoni he got keeping him young.
Yeah, you're right. That's true.
I wouldn't be mad at. I would like Mike over Kellen.
Zimmer?
I'd take Zimmer over Kellen
Moore.
I would
too.
Kellen Moore don't got no balls. Like, ain't nobody playing for him. Ain't nobody gonna run through a wall for Kellen Moore.
I don't disagree at all. Jeremy brings up a good point. Jerry's so dumb. He probably just thinks that, hey, every former white Cowboys tight end is going to be a great head coach. Like,
he thinks he's going to be Dan Campbell?
Yeah. Jason Witten's going to be Dan Campbell. I highly doubt that. Man, all I know is this thing's a mess. It has been a mess forever. Mike McCarthy, by the way, it's not been since Parcells that a head coach decided, you know what, I'm done with this bullshit. I'm out. Bye. Every coach since then has been a Jerry yes man and cried when he got let go because he loved stealing money from Jerry and being the Cowboys head coach. Parcells wanted to win the title. And when Parcells got butt hurt by Jerry and blew up out of here after the Seattle playoff game, and then Mike McCarthy goes in there after getting told, no, you can't talk to the Bears. So he goes in there and sits down and he's told, hey, 2-year deal and you're going to hire Jason Witten in 2 years to replace you. No, Mike McCarthy. I've won a
disrespectful.
Title. Totally
it's disrespectful. It's
Meanwhile,
disrespectful.
Apparently, Kellen Moore also has been he's a player for the Jacksonville job, and he's a player for the New Orleans job. Kellen Moore does not need the Cowboys job. He may have a head coaching job out there somewhere else. And again, Kellen Moore, this is going to be an interesting case study to see what Kellen Moore does, because if Jerry offers Kellen the job and Kellen turns it down and goes to Jacksonville or goes to New Orleans, that tells you all you need to know. Even Kellen Moore's like, nah, I did my tour of duty there. I'm good. I've seen how it's supposed to work. I'm good, man. I'm good. People are calling for Aaron Glenn, the former Aggies great, the defensive coordinator of the Lions. I mean, I love Aaron Glenn, but I don't want Aaron Glenn to be the Cowboys coach because I don't want Aaron Glenn to die. I like Aaron Glenn. I don't wish that job on my buddies. Let somebody I don't like take the job. It's a mess, dude. It's a mess.
Jerry's never had a head coach. Let me shut up. All right, moving on.
You mean a black head coach? Is that what
I
you?
didn't
I know
say
what you're
that.
saying. Well, oh,
I
okay.
didn't
I'm just.
say that.
Oh, okay. You
I
meant
didn't
something.
say
You meant
that.
a former Aggie
I didn't
head
say
coach.
that. Yeah,
Never
he's
had an
never had a
Aggie.
former Aggie. Never had an Aggie.
Yeah, I don't think Jerry's hiring an Aggie either. All right, it is in the building, baby, presented by Texas Cheer Liquor, a minority-owned and operated liquor store in this town. 7 locations, 6 in the greater San Antonio area, 1 up in the Barney area. Go to any of the 7, get 5% off all purchases when you mention in the building at any of the Texas Cheer Liquors. Got January specials galore. Look at these selections here. For the rest of
LG,
the
you got
month,
that picture
you
from
can get
yesterday? Go ahead.
Svedka vodka for $13.99 a pop. That's the big bottle, too. I
Big
sold a ton of
boys.
that Svedka. I sold a lot of Svedka when I was working at the location up in Barney. I mean, no, I worked at the Stone Oak one, rather.
Boverdi.
Martha's Shard. Not Martha's Shart. Martha's Shard. $4.99 for the 19 Crimes Martha's Shard. Two different flavor hooches there. And then the Fireball, the 750 ml, just $12.99 for the rest of January. That is
Give me a
$5
sec.
off the regular price. It is Fireball, Martha Stewart's 19 Crimes, Svedka Vodka, January specials until the end of the month. Lowest prices in town on these particular bottles of stuff. And as always, Texas Cheer Liquor. 5% off when you mention in the building at all 7 of them. So don't forget,
Ooh.
there's a dude
There
right
it
there
is. Look
last
at that.
night that took advantage of it. Look at this homie.
He
Oh,
got that
man.
1792. You see, he got that 1792 and 2 fireballs. So a couple specials, a little 1792.
Did he get
These
his
are in the
5%
building.
off? I hope he did.
Well, he only got if AD was there, he only got the 5% on the 1792
Right.
because the fireball's already on special. So he
Sing,
probably
motherfucker.
went in individually, hit the 5% on the 1792.
Outstanding. Good times.
Which is
Take
still good
advantage
because
of this
that's
dude.
whatever you can get. So thank you in the bill. Is that a West Side? Is that a gang sign, sir?
No, I think I don't know. I don't know what
Oh,
that
that's
is.
210. That's 210.
This is
This
210.
is 2. Yeah. 210.
Oh, 210. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it.
It's 210.
Very good. Well, there it is, man. There's proof. We're not lying.
Yeah, we ain't lying. People Anywho.
All right. What else today? More Jane Slater.
What happened
She
now?
says that at this point, Jerry's basically acting solo in this job search. At least right now, he was taken aback that
Steven ain't
McCarthy.
helping him?
He thought Mike was going to work with it. He thought Mike McCarthy was going to be fine with a 2 or 3 year deal, then turn it over to Whitten. And when he walked, it took Jerry aback. And according to Jane, Jerry's kind of been acting solo this last few days. He's the one that has reached out to Whitten. He's the one that called Dion. And I'm sure he'll ask his sons what they think, or Will McClay, the scouting director. But right now, he's a solo agent up there making the decision on his own. By the way, and she brought up a good point. I watched her this morning on whatever podcast she did. So Dion, his buyout is $10 million, even for the
That's
NFL.
chump change. That's chump change.
I know it is, but Jerry don't pay it. Jerry's cheap as hell on coaches. That's the thing.
Makes sense.
Jerry don't pay coaches. I don't think Mike was top 15 in the NFL in pay. And Dion's staff in Colorado is huge. You and I saw it. There's 40 dudes on that staff. Jerry
There's a
ain't paying
lot.
40 dudes. Jerry is not paying
No.
40 dudes.
No.
So would Dion want? Well, I don't know why Dion would want to do that.
I don't know if Dion wants to.
I don't think he does.
I don't know if Dion wants to, but people in his circle say if Jerry really offers him the job, he's really going to consider it. Now, I would rip Dion because I rip these college coaches. You know, these college coaches spend all day long crying about the NIL, crying about the transfer portal. Yet when their dream job comes about, they bolt. So I'd have to rip Dion because, you know, you spent all the last 2 years telling everybody to play for the next man and We ain't hard to find, and I got you, and I'm trying to turn you into a man. Oh, the Cowboys called? Hey, fellas,
Well,
one day you're going to be, blessed to work your dream job, and I hope you take advantage of it. That's what I'm going to have to do. So, I mean, I'd have to rip Deion. If Deion takes a Cowboy job, I got to punch him.
if Deion takes a Cowboy job, I'm going to be excited because it's going to be entertaining as hell.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Can you imagine all this? And Jerry's going to be cool. Jerry will be cool with all the rappers on the sideline. Is he going to be allowed to have the rappers on the sideline?
Of
you
course. Sure? Absolutely.
Lil Wayne can come and perform in front of the team and all that shit?
That's right. As these idiots that buy the tickets, they know who is it. What, 2 Chainz, 2 Marbles? What who we got down there? This
of course. Jerry would love it. Jerry would.
Yeah, 2 Chainz. I saw, 2 Chainz on the sideline. T.O. is on Deion's staff indirectly.
I know.
Is T.O. allowed at Dallas?
As a consultant? Sure. I think so. Sure. Absolutely. Because it's tons of
Warren
attention.
Sapp.
Oh, of course. With his big-ass fro hawk he's got rocking. He looked awesome. And I loved Warren Sapp.
Warren had to dip this big. All day long.
Big old wad of chalk. Yeah, he did.
Big old wad. Like, it's freaking disgusting. And I'm a smoker. That's disgusting.
Jeez. And look, man, if Deion would be a reason for me to care again, because I haven't cared about the Cowboys in 5 months.
Yeah, you haven't. You've been hard on
Deion would give me somebody in that organization to root for because I like Deion. I would root for them. Actually, I would root for Deion. I don't give a damn about Jerry's success. I would be happy to see Deion if he had any success up there. You know what I'm saying?
Do you believe Micah Parsons and Dak Prescott when they say they're devastated about Mike McCarthy, or is that just PR?
Yeah, I think so. Dak has come out and said that he's super bummed because they built something. Micah Parsons said he's devastated that Mike's out. However,
Mike McCarthy has had.
But they also say, but we look forward to seeing how it goes next. We're excited about what's next. Okay, company.
McCarthy had both of their backs, though.
He did.
McCarthy did have their backs. He had their backs.
Publicly, big time. So. Yeah, with fans and media. Sure, absolutely. It's a mess, dude. I don't care about any of them. But if they go get Deion Sanders, all right, cool.
I'm down.
I'm back in just because I'll be supporting Deion, and that's it. All right, who wants to meet Vince Young? Vince will be in town on Sunday, February the 2nd at 24/7 Church on 1604 and Judson Road. It's a 2-day card show, autograph show, memorabilia show, collectibles, Saturday the 1st and Sunday the 2nd at 24/7 Church. And Vince Young will be signing autographs on that Sunday from 2 to 4. So go meet Vince. Take a look at the card show. It's pretty cool. I don't collect anymore, but, man, I was enthralled watching that thing go on when me and Rudy were there last month with our show. That was a good time.
Okay. Somebody gave me, when I was still at iHeart, somebody gave me a bunch of cards. I'm going to have to take them over there. I think, are they upstairs somewhere, all them basketball and baseball cards? It was in an album. It was upstairs.
Get them priced.
My wife, when she cleans up, she throws shit away.
Right.
Like, oh, it's been here and you ain't used it. So I might be in garbage heaven, but I have a bunch of cards I need to get checked to see if they're worth a flip. They probably ain't.
Right. All right. Y'all want to do a little watching what you watching Wednesday since we got reminded that it is today?
What you watching, Mike?
All right. Let me make sure you get the name of the show right. We watched it last week. So we watched a documentary. It's called Don't Die. The Man Who Wants to Live Forever.
Oh, I almost watched it, but it seemed like he was going to drive me crazy because he has a neon mask and pills, and his last meal of the day is at 11 a.m. I saw the trailer. Tell me about it.
So it's a guy called Brian Johnson. He created basically what turned into Venmo. It's called Braintree, I think, years ago. Got bought by PayPal, and then PayPal turned Braintree into Venmo. So this guy's a massive millionaire, lives out in Cali, San Francisco, Oakland area, I think. And quit working, turned into a pitch man for his own health. He's trying to live as long as he possibly can. And all he does with all of his waking hours is try to prolong his life. All right. So his son was living with him during the documentary. Son winds up going to college, and the son was participating in a lot of this with him. What he's trying to do is he's trying to prove that humans, if they are absolutely in perfect health, can live into their 120s and have and do it in comfort and not be decrepit, wheelchair bound, mentally shot. This dude is a whack job, as you said.
Is he a whack job?
He goes to bed. He wakes up at 4:30 every morning without fail. There's no cheat nights. There's no watching the Super Bowl. Goes to bed, and he says he realizes it's over the top and it's too much to ask of a person, but he's sacrificing himself to prove a greater point scientifically for the masses to see. This is how healthy you can be if you were crazy about it. Not that you need to be as crazy as I'm being about it, but if you just put some effort into your health, you can be. You don't have to
get an extended
and have hurt knees. Extended warranty, but feel good about it.
It's extended warranty, right?
Yeah, we're real good in this country at treating diseases and treating sickness and keeping people alive. Now, their quality of life sucks. We keep people alive, but who cares if you live to be 100 if for the last 30 years of your life you feel shitty all the time?
Yeah.
And he's trying to prove that if you are dedicated yourself to hell with the doctors, if you dedicate yourself to it, and granted, he's a millionaire and he has the money and the time to do all this, but it's a lesson in what we're all should be healthier than we are. He doesn't drink any alcohol. He doesn't smoke anything. He wakes up at 4:30. He has all these brain monitors. He has this massive staff that come to his house. They monitor his skin, his circulation, his brain, his muscles, his penis, everything. Seriously. And he never gets in the sun. Ever. He only goes out when the sun's down. And he looks like a vampire.
Is he a vampire?
Maybe. He's certainly a weirdo. He's not been able to sustain a relationship because no human being wants to live this life with him. He needs to find some crazy woman that will do this with him because he's pretty lonely. He's a lonely guy. And at the end, he admitted the biggest part of this is the mental effect of my lifestyle. Mentally, in that I'm lonely, and I wish I could find a partner because his son moved in with him, but his son went to college. He's a total weirdo. No one in their right mind would do what he does. But the lesson is we all should be healthier than we are. If we just put forth a little bit more effort, we'd feel better. And so I was inspired.
If you could do like 25% of what he's doing, you could get that extended warranty.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's crazy, but some people are crazy genius,
right,
for the greater good. And I thought it was an interesting documentary. So if you get a chance, it's called "Don't Die: The Man Who Wants to Live Forever." What are you watching?
I watched a movie the other day. It just came to Netflix, I guess, but it's been out since 2013. It was based on a real life events from an Alaskan serial killer, Robert Hansen, who they think killed hundreds of women. It was played by John Cusack. The serial killer was John Cusack, and the leading investigator was Nicolas Cage. It's called The Frozen Ground. Like, again, that's based on a real Alaskan serial killer that was killing women, burying them in the Alaskan woods, and this went on from early 70s to the early 80s. And because he had so much power and money in that community, they wouldn't even investigate him, even though all signs pointed to him. So they just let this dude get away with killing women from 71 to like 84. They only found 20 something, and they were showing the women at the end of the movie, but they suspect it's hundreds.
We ain't
hundreds
found
of women
shit.
for 12 years. 12 years of raping them first, obviously.
Good
Killing
Lord.
them, burying them, and he would like take them to the woods and say, run.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was a hunter.
Wow,
he let
like
him
the
get
Hunger Games.
Yeah, he let him get 100, 200 yards away, put him in the
Oh
scope.
my God.
And this is after he's had him at his house, raping them for a week. He would keep him at his house for like a week. He'd keep him at the house for like a week. He'd send his wife and kids away with her family. Go get his chick, bring her to his home where his wife and children live, rape him repeatedly for a week, fly him to the woods on his private jet.
Oh my God.
Yeah, handcuff him, put him in his private jet, fly him to the woods, take the handcuffs off of him and tell him to run. They think they're getting away, only to get a 223 bullet to the back. Then he walks up on them,
Lord,
puts one in the head, buries him. And they only got onto him because a black bear. Yeah, a black bear dug up one. And then the dug up one of the women.
Wow.
And the investigation started. Pretty horrific shit.
Like a dangerous game.
Horrific.
Dang. Good Lord.
True story.
Yep. Good grief.
Sorry.
No, that's
Frozen
crazy. I'm totally interested. Frozen ground. All right, very good. All right, a couple other closing items here. We've got barbecue season that I'm going to start pimping out more and more. We need barbecue teams. All right.
Let's do it.
We want to get 30 this year for the cook-off. We announced this last night. This year's barbecue. LG, sorry, I'm going to spoil it by saying it's on May 17 of this year. Sorry for the spoiler, but the barbecue is May 17. Oh, LG's calling me out for saying I'm spoiling the shows. It's a great show.
How are you spoiling the shows? I'm lost.
By telling people what happens and what it's about.
Oh, my bad, LG. My bad, LG. I'll just say from now on, I'll just say what I am. I won't go so far in detail. That's fair. That's fair.
No, I can't help it if people fuck off if you're too stupid to you don't have any interest because I gave you a 30-second synopsis of the show. It's still good.
You gotta give him a trailer. Give him a trailer.
F you, Matt. No need to watch that shit anymore Wednesday. F off, Matt. Walter White dies. Here's 2 big fingers for everybody. All right. So on the 17th of May, we have the cook-off.
That's my bad. We got to fix that.
So we announced last night that the barbecue was up and running and we need barbecue teams. Already had 3 people sign up for barbecue teams already. Thank y'all. Y'all know who y'all are. Appreciate it. We need 27 more. So I'm going to do a bid here for the next 6 people that sign their barbecue team up, and it's only $150. You get 4 or 5 guys and y'all split that. That's nothing. $150. You can enter your team this year into the cook-off on May 17th. Brisket, chicken, pork spare ribs, cook's choice this year. And how about that? We're doing a spare ribs category. You can be in all the categories or just one. It's up to you. We're doing beans as well. So brisket, chicken, pork spare ribs, cook's choice, and beans. Who wants to be in our cook-off? You want me to get closer to the screen? There you go. You want to see my boogers? There you go. All right. So for the next 6 people that sign up their barbecue teams, I'm going to personally deliver you some rub. All right. We have an official rub of the barbecue, by the way. I'm not going to rub you out. I'm going to give you some rub.
Oh.
All right. Chupacabra rub is the official rub of the barbecue this year. Now, you don't have to use Chupacabra when you cook, but I'm going to give you some of their stuff. It's good. I've got 3 kinds here. This is the, oh God, having a senior moment. Here we go. 2 Gringos Chupacabra. Fajita seasoning. It's Chupalicious. I'll bring you that. This is for fajitas. This one's for wings. 2 Gringos Chupacabra. The Gringos Wing Wub. I'll bring you some of that. All right. And I'll give you a bottle of Rib Noxious for ribs. Rib Rub Season All. So thank you to 2 Gringos Chupacabra Rub, the official rub of the barbecue. You don't have to use it when you cook in the contest, but here's some freebies, and I will deliver them personally to the next 6 people that sign their barbecue team up. I'm going to post this link here when we get off the show today, and We got to get these teams taken care of. We need 30 teams. We have 3. We need 27. You have until May 17. But if we don't start pimping it now, you know how we are in this town about procrastinating, and I'm as
We'll
worse as
walk
anybody.
uptown. We already walk
Absolutely.
uptown.
All right, we got Wemby versus Ja Morant tonight. I'm excited about that. I want to see the Memphis Grizzlies. They're 25-15. They're a lot better this year. Spurs coming off a 20-point win in LA over the Lakers. I'm excited to see that tonight, so we'll talk about that probably and whatever else comes down the deal mañana. What y'all doing the rest of the day? What you doing Wednesday? Don't give too many details because I won't be interested anymore if you tell me too much what you're going to do.
I'll go lift some weights. Get my
Atta
extended
boy.
warranty.
Yes, sir. Go get it. Go get it. You know what's funny? I have had to stop lifting as much. Not that I'm a musclehead. I was
Why?
lifting like 5 days a week because
What's
I've
wrong
gotten
with that?
too old. I've gotten too old to lift 5 days a week.
We got to talk about that.
All
I
right, let's talk
disagree
about
with that. You
Okay.
just gotta
Well,
get,
see,
I disagree with
my
that.
strategy is, well, I've always done a lot, like a small, like lightweight, but a lot of reps. It's killing me, man. I'm sore.
The joints and
So,
shit. Yeah.
I'm gonna start going 3
Makes
days
sense.
a week and doing heavy weights, low reps. We'll let's discuss. We'll
Yeah.
discuss. All right, that's it. We're done. Y'all have a fun day. Love y'all hard. Thanks to everybody. Thanks to LG. Thanks to the people. I don't know why I'm talking like that. We'll see y'all back up in here tomorrow. Love you hard.
This program was made possible by contributions from viewers and listeners like you. Thank you.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.